Hey, it is Monday night, and here we are, Real Sim Racing in Atlanta, Georgia. I'll tell you what, 130 laps on the board here tonight for Atlanta Motor Speedway, and Real Sim Racing once again here. I'll tell you what, we were at Bristol last week, Rick, and I'll tell you what a race that was. Landon Huffman led pretty much all the laps there, and of course, came out with the big one, but that was quite a show they put on at Bristol last week.
Oh, absolutely, DD. And I tell you that Landon Huffman he's been pretty dominant so far in the season. But Guy Snyder, is number one right now, sitting in the points. So Landon's still got some catching up to do to catch Guy Snyder. So I'm expecting to see one heck of a race here today in Atlanta. There, JD.
You bet. Mile and a half track, fast track, 130 laps. But I'll tell you what, Rick the Law Dog Donathan in the booth with me tonight. And, of course, Mike the Batman himself, Keaton, calling the action from pit road, along with Ron Day. They call me the Cowboy, J.D. Webb. Jerry the Corn Dog Wolf, working them buttons for the cameras here for you tonight. And I'll tell you what, talking about the points, guys, why don't we go ahead and take them down through the points and let them know who's who and who's where here at Real Sim Racing League here on Monday night, Full Throttle Cup Racing. And I'll tell you what, Guy Snyder, Rick, you was talking about him earlier. He's sitting at the top of the pile up here, 154 points. He finished second at Bristol last week, so he's in pretty good shape tonight.
Absolutely. And, Cameron Manis is sitting right there in second spot, 151 points, just 3 points shy from the leader. So, but JD, I haven't seen him yet on the track tonight, so I'm not sure if he's here or not. And if not, that's definitely going to move up John Higman Jr.
You bet. And John Higg Jr. is sitting in third place tonight. Guys finished fifth at Bristol last week, 7 points behind the leader. He put on a pretty decent show last week at Bristol, and then down in fourth position is going to be Scott Brotherton, who finished fourth at Bristol as well. Scott is 8 points off the lead.
Tell you what, and there in the fifth position is Landon Huffman at 145 points, just 9 points shy. And I'm going to tell you, JD, tonight, look for that young man to try to get up front pretty quick, lead some laps, get some extra bonus points for that, and to try to take a big chunk out of this point system here to get up on top. He had a real good finish last week, pretty good.
You bet. And John Gregorio, he's 19 points off the lead, guys, in sixth position. Tyler Price is in seventh position, also 19 points off the lead. But I understand Tyler Price may not be on the track here tonight as well.
JD, I believe I heard some word in the drivers' meeting a little earlier this evening that Tyler Price, don't know if he, I know he's definitely probably suspended from this race, but I'm not sure if he's suspended for the season. Not sure on that, but the word is I heard suspension.
All right. And then, of course, down here in eighth position is going to be Adam Roberts. He's 22 points off the lead. In ninth is going to be Keith Brooks Jr., 36 behind. And then Doug Roth bringing up the top 10 here, 37 points behind. But I'll tell you what, let's go on up the list here a little bit. You get up here about the top five, from about Cameron Manis on down, guys. Actually, from John Higman on down. John Higman only 7 points. 1 point separates him and Scott Brotherton. Scott Brotherton and Landon Huffman only 1 point from each other there. So this is a pretty tight race in the points so far, guys. And I believe this is going to be race number 6 here at Real Sim Racing. But I'll tell you what, looking for Landon Huffman tonight. He was a runner at Bristol. He's got a couple of them under his belt here at Real Sim Racing already. So Landon Huffman can certainly be a big threat here at Atlanta tonight.
I tell you what, JD, don't count off Guy Snyder. He's definitely wanting to hang on to that points lead. And I spoke to him a little earlier. He said that he wants to try to get up there in the front pretty quick and start leading some of those laps and getting some of those bonus laps to put more of a gap in that lead. I asked him about the track, how the setup was. He explained to me that coming out of two, little loose coming out of turn two, and I think that's what you're going to see here today. A lot of the guys complaining about turn two being loose.
All right, I'll tell you what, Landover Speedway, built in 1959, guys. It's a 1.5-mile track, and it is absolutely one of the fastest things out there. And the straightaways are banked at about 5 degrees. I believe the turns are banked at about 24 degrees. But let's take it on down to Mike and Ron down on pit road down there. Let's go with Mike Keaton first. Mike, what are you hearing from the garage, guys?
Well, JD, hearing that if this thing stays green, you're probably going to be looking at 3 pit stops. It's kind of ironic with 130 laps here today, but the fuel mileage is anywhere from lap 45 to 55, maybe 60, but still going to need three stops to make it.
That's right, Michael. And the other thing you're going to be looking at is tires. Some guys are still trying to figure out. Obviously, it's going to depend on how many laps there are to go, but they're still trying to decide if tires or track position is going to be the key here tonight.
All right, I'll tell you what, 45 to 55 laps on fuel. Tires could be an issue here tonight, Rick, and of course, problems coming off of turn 2. I would think that turn 4 might also present a problem. Like a lot of these 1.5-mile tracks, you get that slingshot effect coming up off that turn. That outside wall comes up real quick, and then you got to kind of put a little bit of left-hand pressure on the wheel as you go down the front stretch, because you got that kind of a dog-leg tri-oval to deal with at almost 200 miles an hour too before you get into turn 1. So I'll tell you what, it's going to be one heck of a night. Why don't we go ahead and set it down on trackside? I believe the Cactus Cuties are standing by with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, I'll tell you what, thank you to the Cactus Cuties for about the best rendition of the national anthem that I've heard in a long, long time, boys. Girls aged from 11 to 16, and terrific job, and thank you very much. But front row tonight, guys, John Gregorio starting out on the pole here tonight with a blistering 28.629 on the outside, and the 83 machine is going to be Jay Horton.
Starting third, 31, Chris Westerfield, and starting fourth, the number 44, Rob Bolin.
On the inside, fifth position is going to be the 94, Jeff Addison. Outside him in the 33 car is David Lanza.
And starting seventh, number 75, Landon Huffman. And in eighth, we have the number 91, Jeff Eden.
Adam Robert on the inside in ninth position in the 88 car. In the 46 machine on the outside in 10th position, Logan Bunning.
And starting 11, number 47, Eric Arnold. And starting 12th on the outside, number 41, Chalmers Parker.
And Guy Snyder, your points leader here at the Real Sim Racing League, he's starting in 13th in that 27 machine. Outside him in 14th, the number 89 car, Randall Holcomb.
Starting on the inside, 15th, number 17, Chad Cole. And on the outside, starting 16th, number 76, Keith Brooks Jr.
Scott Brotherton in that number 3 machine in 17th position on the inside. On the outside in 18th is going to be the number 11 car of Bobby Childs.
Starting 19th for 18, Chad Schilling. And on the outside in 20th, number 60, John Higman Jr.
The number 70 of Jason Elrod in 21st position. Outside him tonight in that ETV Live car is the 65 machine of Ed Williams Jr.
Starting 23rd, 14, Joey Gatana. And starting 24th, number 5, Greg Netherwood.
And in 20th position, Chris Beck, John Abbott on the outside. Chad Tracy bringing up the tail end of the field here in 27th position in that 86 machine. And guys, I wanted to I was looking for that, I believe, I thought it was a 94 car. Jeff Addison, oh, I'm sorry, and you know what, we need to go on down the line. I forgot to scroll my list up, guys. 28th position, the list goes on here. My apologies. Nathan Bauer starting in 28th in the 85 machine, and 29th is going to be Patrick Hay. And 30th is going to be Doug Roth, Bill Schoonover, Joseph Hayes, and Stephen Herring back here bringing up the tail end of the field for 33 positions tonight. And, of course, I apologize. My bad. I neglected to scroll down through the list. But
That's
I'll tell
okay,
you what.
JD. Old age catching up with you, that's all.
Yeah, old age. Yeah, you got that right. I keep telling John I need a secretary, but I tell you what, it's green flag, and we're off to racing here. John Gregorio gets a huge jump over the field here, guys.
Absolutely, JD. And I tell you what, going into turn 1 there, you're going to see these guys get a good entry in turn 1. But after a few laps, when these tires start heating up, me and Batman here was talking about it earlier, that grip is going to give away, and you're probably going to see some cars get turned right around between 1 and 2.
Yeah, you know, we'll be looking for that. But first lap in the books already here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, 130 of them on the board here tonight. And I tell you what, keep an eye on that Landon Huffman. He showed up at the track late. Didn't get a whole lot of practice in tonight, guys. So not real sure how that 75 machine is going to fare here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. He may be spending the first part of the race just kind of getting some practice laps in that he missed out on earlier. But so far so good. As we got the 60 and 89 machine already going around, guys. Caution coming out on the track for the first time here on lap 3. It's going to be John Higman and I don't know who the other driver is, but Jerry, we got it up on the Ewine machine.
Yeah, I got you pulled up here, Jay, to take a look at it. It looks like maybe the 60 and the 89. Actually, they both kind of got into each other. My opinion, I think 60 went up, 89 came down. Quite a bit of damage to the 89 there and the 60 as well. Both cars going to take some damage. Tough break for these guys so early in the race. We're only in the second lap here, so hopefully we can get it cleaned up, get back green going.
Yeah, just watching it on my monitor, and looks like you're absolutely right. Running the slow-mo here, looks like the 69 just started coming down into the 60. Yeah, 69 or the 89 car just kind of come down here in the 60, and around they go. That e-ticket ride happening, guys.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's like you said earlier, 2 laps into the race and already got some bad luck like that. Batman, give us something.
Yeah, speaking of bad luck there, JD and Rick, John Higman Jr. in that wreck, and he's sitting 3rd in points. Although the car doesn't appear too banged up, I think Ron's got him down there in pit road to see what kind of damage he's got. Ron?
Yeah, it don't look actually too bad. The right side of the front right fender is going to be crushed a little bit, but I think he's going to come back, take 4 tires, and get the full tank right there and pull it out a little bit, and they'll be just fine.
Joey Gattino lead bunch off of pit road down there, so I'm wondering if that might have been a 2-tire change for Gattina. Looks like he beat everybody off of pit road. But tell you what, first caution coming out here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Why don't we go ahead and step away? We're going to take our first commercial break of the night. You're watching it live, ETV Live, Cowboy, with real sim racing in Atlanta. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back live here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Caution number one coming out here, the 1689 getting together back on lap 3, guys. But looks like they got the bear bond out. I heard some ball peen hammers going out down there, pulled that sheet metal around. But I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and take a look at this number 94 car down here. Jeff Addison, want to give a shout out to him. Beautiful looking car, running for NASCAR Hall of Fame. And I understand in talking to him during pre-race before the show here, down there in the garage, guys, that he's actually an AV tech over there at NASCAR Hall of Fame. So that's probably a job that we'd all like to have, you think?
Absolutely. Go in there. I tell you what, if you haven't been to the Hall of Fame, that's a place that everybody needs to go visit. I had a chance to go down, take a look at that facility. I tell you what, JD, it's it's first class. It's first class across the board. A lot of history there, and you will spend all day. So grab your family, shoot on down there to Charlotte, North Carolina, take a look at that place, and you will have a blast.
You bet. What 94, like I said, nice looking car down there. Jeff Addison driving it tonight. Lights are out on the pace car, guys, and tell you what, coming off of turn 4 here, that pace car is going to pull off down pit road. We're going to be at it again. John Gregorio still hanging out here in the front. Qualified on the pole, Jay Horton up here in front, Chris Westerfield, Rob Bowling, Jeff Addison. Your top 5 up here as we get the green flag. And I'll tell you what, John Gregorio is getting a huge jump on these guys. This is the second time here, Rick.
That's right. I tell you what, he was at Landon Huffman is back there. Landon's running 6th position right now. So John is definitely not going to waste any time. Put a gap in between him and the other car so that he can expand that lead. And I tell you, he's rolling pretty good. He's getting good entries. He's getting good exits. So look for him to be a big contender here today.
You bet. I'll tell you what, checking out the chat room over here, guys, as we always do. We've got a couple of guys, a couple of people hanging out with us here tonight. We've got Kayla watching the race here tonight. TP, I don't know who that is, but John Gregorio. I'll tell you what, I think a lot of these guys got one of them onboard TV dashboard DVD players or whatever, but they may be watching themselves on the big screen inside their race cars here tonight. But Brian Poling and John Gregorio, I believe they're both out here on the track. But sounds like the 11 car in the grass. That's going to be Bobby Childs, guys. No caution coming out. That might be worth a second look. I'll roll it back on my monitor here. and looks like he might have just lost it, Gary.
Yeah, I got to look up here for real quick. JD, take a look at this 11 car. Looks like he just actually lost it. Oh, jump in the infield there, buddy. Oh, another jump on the infield. I got a little bit of front end damage down there in that spoiler area, but he'll be all right. Get back here, get it fixed up, and hopefully you can keep it going until the next caution. So.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. You get jacked up on Mountain Dew. Boy, I tell you, just jump everywhere you can to jump and keep that car on the track and keep it going around here in circles, JD.
Well, I'll tell you before, take a look at, keep your eye out for that 75 machine, Landon Huffman. He's already moved up to the front here, guys. Had kind of a poor, well, not really a poor qualifying session, but probably didn't get as far forward as he had hoped to. But he's doing it now, moved up to fourth position. He's in behind the 83 machine of Jay Horton. I believe that's one of his teammates there from Huffman Racing. So Landon Huffman now looking to take that position from the 83 guys. I'll tell you what, he's on the hunt. Guess where he's going?
He's definitely wanting to get to the front. I got caught up with him right when this car was coming into the track here, and knew he was running a little behind. Had a few words with him to see how the race is going to be, and he says, man, he says, I ain't got but just a few laps. I have no idea what this car is going to do here. So I'm sure he's going to figure it out one lap at a time, and I tell you what, 130 laps we got here, 12 in the book. He's got plenty of time to get that thing figured out.
Yeah, I believe Huffman started in 7th position, qualified 7th night at Atlanta, but already on the move. But they were moving it backwards here just a little bit. Everything's pretty much status quo. Got the 41 machine of Chalmers Parker back there in 11th position, and looks like he's going past the 17 up here. That's going to be Chad Cole riding that top line. But no, Chalmers Parker goes deep into the turn, guys. I tell you what, almost losing it, getting up there way up there against the wall. Doesn't hit it. I'll tell you what, he ran that thing way deep into the turn.
Tell you what, I didn't get a chance to take a look at that. I've been watching a little bit of the battle we got going up here in first and second, where Chris Westerfield is closing in on John Gregorio. So don't know whether John has burned up a little bit of tire trying to put that gap in between the leads. But slowly but surely, Chris Westerfield is catching him, JD.
Now, that first caution we had there on lap 3, we did have a lot of people on back come down pit road, and I believe about Joey Katina from about 17th position back, a lot of those guys came down pit road. Now, your leaders did not. I don't know what the effects of about 3 racing laps are going to be on these guys out here in front, but I'll tell you what, it may make some difference out here as Westerfield is starting to close in on John Gregorio.
Tell you what, just want to give a shout out to some of these guys over here in the chat room there, JD. You didn't get a chance to have that 11 cars over the track, but want to give a shout out there to TP and Caleb. She's joining us here this evening. And want to say hey to Brian Bolin. His father's driving the 44 machine this evening. Rob Bolin has already moved up to 4th place, so I can see Brian over there jumping up and down rooting for his dad. So thanks for joining us this evening here, guys.
And I believe we had a little shake-up up here in front, guys. And this may be one of those electrical demons that have affected these cars from time to time. Moved Chris Westerfield all the way to the back to 30th place. Now, he was chasing down the leader up here, and Chris Westerfield is actually now being shown a lap down, guys. So that's going to put Landon Huffman up there in 2nd position, about 1.2 seconds off of Gregorio. His teammate, Jay Horton, back there in the 83 machine, chasing the way up to the front here too, guys. So Chris Westerfield with some kind of a problem there, Mike.
Yeah, Chris, reporting that it's some sort of electrical on the garage, so can't really get any more on that, but we'll see whether that guy will be.
All right, and up front, Jay Horton in that 83 machine, 6th place up here. He just gave up about 3 positions up here. Jeff Addison to that 94 machine, 33 of David Lanza. Also, the 44 of Rob Bowling getting past. So Jay Horton in early trouble here, guys. 19 laps in the books here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So teammate of Huckman back here, Jay Horton, might be having some difficulties this early in the race, guys. So I'll tell you what, we'll keep an eye on that situation. But moving back through the field, pretty much single file until you get back here with Scott Brotherton, 13th and 14th position back here. Chalmers Parker, he's riding that high line up here. Looks like the 3 car of Scott Brotherton is going to get that position coming off turn 4.
I tell you what, JD, I'll be up here toward the front, and don't mean to jump with you on that. Looking at a battle between the 33 and the 44, third and fourth place. Number 44 driven by Rob Bolin. The 33 car driven by David Lanz. David Lanz is looking at the inside of the 44. I think he's about to close in on him and try to take that third place position away. So got a really good battle going on. And I believe he's going to get past him across the start and finish line and secure that third place there.
All right, I'll tell you what, Ron, we got some more.
Yeah, guys, I was talking to Guy Snyder, our points leader before the race, and David Lanza is actually his teammate, and he told me, well, while David wasn't looking, he said, watch that guy tonight. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with. He's buried in the points, but everybody has to have a breakout race, and they think tonight may be his night.
All right, that'll be the 3 car of David Lanza, currently running up there in 3rd position, guys. But I'll tell you what, you know, somebody that we don't hardly ever mention, we need to start paying more attention to. Over here in the track room, guys, it's going to be ETV Bill. It's going to be Bill Atkins. He signed on with ETV Live here, I don't know, a couple of months back. John hired him. He's our camera technician. And I'll tell you what, he does one of the best jobs of working these cameras out for broadcast purposes of anybody that I've seen. So giving a huge shout out to Bill Atkins, ETV Bill, over there in the chat room, going along for the ride here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So thanks again, Bill, for all the work you do on the camera.
That's right. I tell you, it's a hard work, and I just want to say thanks to all these guys that are in here. It's a lot of hard work. It's not as easy as people think it is, getting in here and trying to keep up with a lot of these guys. And I tell you, it's just a lot of hard work, a lot of effort from everybody. But the main thing is, JD, we have fun in here, and that's the whole secret to the whole recipe is having a good time.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, somebody else having a time out here is going to be Guy Snyder back there in 9th position. He's got the 44 up on the outside. But up there in front is going to be 88 of Adam Roberts. As he's, I don't know if he's putting the block on the 27 car up here in the turn or what. But I'll tell you what, 27 car was right up on the bumper of that 88 machine there for a while. But couldn't get around it. 44 right around up top. But 27 gets position over the 44. So move Guy Snyder up one.
Tell you what, Lat Huffman is gaining from John Gregorio. I tell you, that's just a mouthful for Gregorio. That is just a mouthful for me there, JD.
John, I hope I'm just calling John.
I'll just call him John. But I do like saying the word Gregorio. It's crazy. But the young man's doing a great job getting, going into the corners, exiting. He's doing everything he should be doing. But I tell you what, Landon Huffman is just catching him one lap at a time. So I guess a few laps from now we may see a battle there between 1 and 2.
2 by 2 here, just coming out of the front stretch. Logan Bunning, 15th place. Oh, tangle in the wall. The 91 gets a piece of that too. Hangs on to it down there on the apron. Oh, another one down on the. I think that might have been. Logan Bunning. Almost looked like he had a good handle on it, but he might have hit the wall and bounced off and right on down to the apron. But I'll tell you what, that might be worth a second one too. No caution coming out, guys. As maybe we can get Jerry to pull that one up and put it up on the E-Wine machine. It's going to be the 46 machine of Logan Bunning. I think started this whole thing, Jerry, and then in behind him, now I've lost it. But I know the 46 car of Logan Bunning started that whole deal, and then whoever it was in behind him just got a piece of it on the front right corner, and both of them wound up on the apron. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, take a look at her. Actually, I got to tell you what, it looks like that 46 got a piece of the wall first, came down to the side of it. That's actually what started all that. And unfortunately, 46 got a lot of damage out of that. It is what it is, though. I mean, that is all on him on the wall, JD. So, the break for 46 tonight, guys.
Yeah, you got that right. I'll tell you what, a good move by that other car, avoiding everything. Just got a piece of it, but it's like no harm, no foul. But that 46 machine certainly took a pretty good whack and quite a bit of damage. But meantime, out here in front, Gregorio holding down the Ford up here with Landon Huffman chasing him down about 6/10 off. So Landon Huffman is definitely closing the distance on Gregorio up here, guys. But I'll tell you what, we need to give another shout out. We've hooked up with a sim racing seat. In fact, we don't even call it a sim racing seat, guys. It's called a virtual racing chassis. And this is put out by Bob Earl Racing, designed by a real race car driver. And Bob Earl Racing was kind enough to put one of those seats up here at Real Sim Racing for a season championship trophy. And I'll tell you what, it's a pretty unique looking design, fully adjustable. The seat is also adjustable. It fits people to 6'6". So I tell you what, even Law Dog can fit into one of these things. But check it out at BobEarlRacing.com, guys. $349 plus shipping, Jerry.
Hey, Weber, you watch Bill. I'm listening to him. Dude, he's over here talking about stealing food off the buffet back there. Dude ain't even working tonight. Watch him. Keep an eye on that door back there.
Dude, oh man. Oh, the 75 car just got into the wall coming off of turn 2, guys. Tell you what, Landon Huffman already feeling the pains of very little practice time at Atlanta here today, as he took a piece of the wall coming right off of turn 2, Mike.
Tell you what, there, JD, I got to jump in here right quick. Been watching John Gregorio, Landon Huffman, watching to see if Landon Huffman is gaining. He is losing now. He's falling back. As you'll notice, coming out of turn 2 there, he has popped the wall several times on that passenger side, and that is now affecting him. So tough break for him on that.
Bet. And Mike, you got more on that situation?
Yeah, look, Rick's right. He's been trying to get after John there, and every time he's coming out of the corners, he's pushing it just a little tad too much. But you just got to keep in mind that these guys that Landon did not hit last time at the last caution, so he's on 35, almost 36 lap on tires, and not to mention that you might see some pit stops here just momentarily between 45 and 55 here coming up. So keep that in mind as they continue to try to run them down.
Lots going on down here, guys. We just had the 11 come through and make a pit stop. Remember, he went through the grass earlier. I think he was waiting on a caution and just never came out for him. The 46 is still having issues. He keeps wanting to rev the wall going into turn 1 every time. And the 44 came off of turn 2 a second ago. Decided he didn't like the backstretch, I guess, and went down to the inside and drove down there and then came back up on the track. So lots going on, guys, as the tires wear out.
All right, one caution here at Atlanta so far, guys, and it's actually turned out to be a pretty fun race here. And tell you what, take it back to Bristol last week. Of course, Bristol's notorious, caution breeds caution with that track. But I'll tell you something, Real Sim Racing put on one of the best races I've seen in a long, long time in the iRacing deal here. I believe they got out of it with about 5 or 6 cautions, if I'm not mistaken, Rick. But I'll tell you what, some fine racing at Bristol last week, and they're showing it off again here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Absolutely, JD. I tell you what, not only some fine driving that we got some drivers that are just, just some great guys to talk to. Good attitudes, good sportsmanship, patting each other on the back and so forth. I tell you, racing is a tough sport to be in. You don't know how somebody's going to be because it's such a competitive sport. But these guys here, they know how to do it. And tell you what, looking at John Gregorio and Landon Huffman, it looks like Landon has found that groove again and starting to make some leadway. So I tell you what, it's definitely going to be interesting between those two there before it's over with, JD.
You guys might want to keep Bill off that buffet table back there. the boss just walked in the door, so we might want to make sure there's enough food back there. Yeah, you bet.
Oh, that's cool. Wait a minute, JD. Does that mean that John is late? It means John is late, right?
I don't know, is the boss ever late?
Hey, wait a minute, I've been here the whole time.
I slept in, guys. Sorry. Is it race time yet?
Yeah, are we on the air yet? Oh yeah, we've been on the air for about 40 laps now, John, but I tell you what, this turned out to be quite the race. One caution so far. It happened back on lap 3. There's 16 to 89 involved, but John Gregorio qualified on the pole here tonight, and he's been out in front all night long. Landon Huffman, who led virtually all the laps except for, 7 of them, I think, at Bristol last week. He's been chasing Gregorio down now for about the last, 25, 30 laps, guys. But looking for green flag pit stops coming our way. And Mike and Ron spending some time with the boys down there in the garage. They're telling us somewhere between 45 and 55 laps. So they should be coming our way any minute. So I'll tell you what, go ahead, Rick.
I tell you what, JD, I got to break in here for a moment because we definitely got to get a plug. The plug is needed. John, let me just explain this. If you go over to etv-eplay.net, you get to watch this thing off of the start, and it's free. So get on over there at the end of the race and watch the whole replay of this because you've missed a good 40 laps.
Well, guys, you know I was every play. It's called quality assurance.
Quality assurance. All right, guys, I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and take a real quick commercial break. Green flag pit stops coming your way here just momentarily, so why don't we pay some bills and get that out of the way real quick. You're watching live, ETV Live, Cowboys, so hey, don't wander off. FTCO Communications, dude, I'll tell you what, the only place to get your gaming servers, no contract, month to month. Get gaming tonight with Battlefield 2. Hey, Call of Duty, do it with R-Factor. Arca Sim Racing, dude, I'll tell you what, $49 a month, no better deal anywhere. Remote access, virus filters, remote power cycle, no player limit, no bandwidth, dude. Dedicated servers, hey, do it tonight. Give them a call, 800-859-6826. All right, and we are back live. Green flag pit stops coming our way real soon. Landon Huffman working over that John Gregorio out here in front. He has closed the distance up here, guys. I tell you what, Huffman is suffering from his own problems. He's gotten a piece of the wall a couple of times coming off turn 2, but I tell you what, he's absolutely closing the distance on Gregorio up here in the front. But getting ready for some green flag pit stops here. I tell you what, it sounds like the 33 pitting already, guys, coming your way.
Yeah, JD, he hasn't here yet, but he just radioed in. He said he's driven as long as he can. He can't take it. Oh, he just got tapped by the 18 as he's coming in. I think he's going to save it. He may end up with a speeding penalty right there, though, because wow, that was wild.
Did an excellent job on that thing.
Yeah, he got it straightened. He's coming down. He was going to take 4 anyway. It just slowed him down a little bit. But he's, like they were saying at the beginning of the race, he's got a good enough car. I think he'll be able to bounce back from it. Also, his teammate, 17 Chad Cole, got a good car. Should be coming in the next couple laps also.
All right, just looking an eye on the leaders up here. Landon Huffman chasing down John Gregorio up here. But I tell you what, pretty much matching lap times here is Huffman having his problems up here in the front. Of course, Huffman come to the race today, guys, and didn't get a whole lot of practice in. So he's just kind of feeling things out here in the first half of the race, but he qualified in 7th, and he's done a pretty good job getting that 75 machine up here to the front. But I tell you what, looking back to the field, a lot of distance between all these cars now, guys. Not a lot of action going on as Landa makes his way back out of the pits and almost getting out of shape here, coming out of the pit road here, guys. Trying to get that 33 machine up through the gears, back up on the track here, but almost losing it right there on the exit.
Tell you what, I guess those new tires haven't broke those in yet. You got fresh rubber. You got to give it just a second for the things to heat to you, or that thing will come out right out from underneath you.
Yeah, you know, you can't heat them up right there on pit road by spinning donuts. It doesn't work very well as the rest of the cars come cycling by you. But I'll tell you what, he made it up on the track, and he's back out racing one more time out here, side by side. Jason Elrod back there in 16th position. He's with well, now I lost. Already cycled around already, but anyway, Jason Elrod back there almost looked like he was getting ready to come down pit road here as well. But 52 laps in the book, so I tell you what, we should see a lot of these guys start to come down. 55 laps is what we're hearing is probably going to be the fuel window here. So I tell you what, 52 of them in the books, 3 more laps, it should start bringing everybody down.
That's right. I tell you what, 10th place back here, watching the number 3, Scott Brotherton, just moved up into the 9th position, took away that 9th position away from that number 83 of Jay Horton. Got a good little battle here between Jay Horton, John Hickman Jr., and Scott Brotherton. So good laps those guys are putting on right there, and good show they're putting on. Good racing they're putting on as well. Those guys were bumper to bumper there for a few minutes until 83 of Jay Horton had went a little high in turn 3 there, which allowed Scott Brotherton to get up underneath him and take that position.
All right, and 83 making his way down pit road. So want to go ahead and throw it on down to Mike and Ron.
Yeah, I tell you, pit strategy. A lot of these guys coming down pit road now, starting to take that full tank of gas and take those advantage of the 4 tires. And just like I told you, between 45 and 55, a lot of the leaders still haven't pitted yet, though. They might be playing some other kind of strategy here. Let these guys that's kind of midway back through the pack come down and pit first.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. We got 83 and the 44 on pit road right now. They're going to take 4 tires and fuel and just make sure they got the grills clean. You don't want it to be overheating until they get down pit road again.
Tell you what, DD's watching the lead up here, John Gregorio and Landon Huffman. Landon closed in 0.2 of a second on the back door of John Gregorio, and don't know what's going on. Sounds like we've got an accident. The 46 car, I'm hearing the 46 car got into an accident. Batman, you got anything on this? What we got?
Yeah, it looked like 46 just come in just a little too heavy, and behind him, Jeff Eden come in a little bit too heavy on the throttle, getting down in pit road. Both of them spin, no caution, but they really, really just hurt themselves as they both pit now for 4 fresh tires. Oh, what a wild entry of pit road by Jeff Eden and Logan Bunning. You got more?
Yeah, guys, I'm going to roll back, take a little peek at this. It looks like that 46 got on the brakes. 41 almost got into the rear end of him. 46 spun it across the cone coming in, guys. He's going to get it clean back up there and get it back into pit road.
All right, looks like we the leader pitting John Gregorio as he makes his way last pit stop on the end of pit road here. Looks like the right sides go up on that 23 machine, and you should see the left side go up on that machine as he takes 4 tires and a full tank of gas and rocket back out.
Mike also got 94 Jeff Addison here, and that Hall of Fame Chevrolet car is clean, looks good. 4 tires and fuel, he's down and away, and there's an accident off of 4.
All right, sounds like we got something going on of something going on off of turn 4 here, guys. I don't see any caution flags coming out yet. We got more on
what
that
we're
run?
looking at, JD, is these guys are just trying to, something I meant to mention at the beginning of the race under these green flag stops. This is a pretty tough pit road to get onto, to get slowed down. You're coming off, you're going into the backstretch, you're right at 200 miles an hour. And so by the time you get around to turn 4, you got to be slowed down to about 45, 55 miles an hour by the time you get to pit road. So these guys are going to be out of shape, you know, getting on these brakes pretty hard and trying to make up as much time as they can.
Looks like the car number 34, who is running 5th place, is actually spinning through the grass here. He's going to lose it in 3, halfway to 4. He may be out of gas, guys. The 34 machine running 5th, now 8th, may have ran out of gas as he's coasting into the pit road now. Chris Beck.
Wow. All right, 34 car looks to be out of gas, and tell you what, we'll keep an eye on that situation out there. But tell you what, a lot of action here happening here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, guys. It looks like Chris Beck in that 34 machine was able to get it down to his pit box down here. So it's going to be 4 new shoes and a bucket of oats. I'll get that 34 machine fired back up and back out on pit road again, or back out on track again. But I tell you what, right now our leaders being shown is Doug Roth out here in the 43 machine, Nathan Bowers, Guy Snyder. Nathan Bowers just hit pit road. But Mike, you got some more?
Yeah, Jay, Chris, in fact, did run out of gas. I listened to the car engine as he coasted into pit road, and luckily made it back to his pit stop and got some gas, so he's able to keep going here. It seems like we got a wreck, Ron, or something.
Yeah, Chad Tracy in turn 3, not exactly sure what happened to him. As soon as I saw him, he was already down and parked it in to the inside wall. He may have actually lost it off the 2, and it just took him that long to get stopped.
No caution coming out, and I'll tell you what, pit road entries eating up a bunch of them down here, Rick, as we get back to racing up here. And I'll tell you what, let's go down through the lineup up here. Doug Roth being shown as the leader. Ed Williams Jr. in 2nd place, about 18 seconds back. And then John Gregorio, who's pretty much led all of the laps here tonight at Atlanta so far, qualified on the pole. He's currently running in 3rd, 22 seconds off the lead, but I don't think Doug Roth has been down pit road yet, guys. So this may set up a when they come cycling back around. So we'll keep an eye on that situation. And of course, Landon Huffman, who was chasing Gregorio down earlier, he's only sitting about a little less than 2 seconds off of Gregorio's bumper. So as things cycle around, we'll get it updated. But Ron, you got some more?
No, I'll tell you though, Jay, and I'd like to ask Rick get with Rick on this question here. As you see these guys starting to cycle back out of the pit stops, it just seems like they're just trying to push so much that they're actually kind of running these cars ragged faster than they would have if they would just relax. Don't you think, Rick?
Oh, yeah. I tell you, what I saw a little earlier, what I was going to try to say was that John Gregorio, I seen that Landon Huffman closed in 0.2 of a second on the John Gregorio. Landon Huffman pushed that car as hard as it would go, closed it into the 0.2 of a second, and by the time he got to him, he ate his tires up. So once he ate his tires up, he dropped back another 0.8 of a second. So I tell you what, John Gregorio may be the man here today. This car seems like it's hooked up, but tell you what, I believe he's got something for them all today.
Yeah, keeping those cars clean is a big key to this hot Atlanta Motor Speedway. I tell you, every turn counts, every exit, every entry counts on these tires. And it looks like John's doing a fabulous job keeping them tires clean.
Ed Williams Jr. in that 6.5 machine just coming out of his pit box down there on pit road, guys. And I'll tell you what, ETV Live all over the back of that car. We want to give a big shout out to Ed Williams Jr. in there. Thanks for putting the logos all over the car down there. But I'll tell you what, things are cycling around. Move John Gregorio back up to the front. Landon Huffman still chasing him down, now about 1.8 seconds off. Jeff Addison being shown in 3rd. Guy Snyder, and then John Abbott, guys, for your top 5 here. But Jeff Addison is about, looks like he's about 8 seconds off Landon Huffman and Gregorio up here in front. So I'll tell you what, from Jeff Addison back, from third place back, guys, they got a lot of work to do to make up about 8 or 9 seconds here.
Tell you what, I was just with John Higman Jr. coming out of that turn 2 there and got that car sideways, buddy. I tell you, I think he scraped the back bumper on the wall with that car. Was able to hang on to it and keep going, but I don't think he has pitted yet. So he may definitely be moved for tires.
You bet. I'll tell you what, green flag pit stop cycling through here. Why don't we go ahead and step away? We'll take a commercial break, and we'll bring it right back. And you're watching it live, ETV Live, real sim racing at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So don't wander off, cowboy. We'll be right back. Created specifically for iRacing's online racing simulation game, Trading Paints provides individual racers, leagues, and painters an opportunity to share their custom-designed paint schemes with other subscribers on the iRacing.com simulation service. Part of the fun of today's simulation racing games is showing off your high-quality work with a custom-painted car or truck. TradingPaints.com lists thousands of custom-painted cars and trucks available for download by simply creating an account and logging in. With all available templates at your fingertips, a simple desktop downloader will keep you up to date with the most recent custom-painted vehicles and templates. Check it out today. TradingPaints.com. All right, and we are back live here at Atlanta Motor Speedway with real sim racing. I'll tell you what, these guys put on a heck of a show. We've been with them now for the entire season, got an entire season booked with them, in fact. But check these guys out over at realsimracing.com and say hey to Joey and the boys over there when you get there from ETV Live. But I'll tell you what, tradingpaints.com, and that's a pretty unique way to handle all of your car paints. Get it painted up, you submit it over there at tradingpaints.com and run their little program. Oh, and problem, I'm going to come back to that one. Logan Bunning back here, guys, in 27th position. I tell you what, he's got hooked up with... can't see who that is. Looks like Keith Brooks Jr. up here, guys. I need a car number real quick. I can't make out the car number. It's going to be 76, but man, just caught that one out of the corner of my eye. And Jerry, we've already got it on the E-Wine machine.
Yes, sir, J.D. Uber, I sure do. Looks like 46 coming out of the corner here. Buddy, he washed up into that 76. Turn that 76 straight around right into the wall. 46 going to hit a hard hit into the inside wall as well. A lot of damage to both vehicles. Tough night, guys. Caution number 2.
Absolutely, and I will bring the second caution of the night here out on lap 71, but I'll tell you what, or lap 72 here, but I'll tell you what, I was watching that again, and, you know, this is right after green flag pit stops, guys, so these guys are pretty much on pretty fresh tires still, Rick, so just getting a little bit out of shape coming off the turn.
I tell you what, I'm going to turn this over to Batman because the leader is coming down the pit road. Batman.
Perfect timing, Rick, JD. These guys could not have asked for a better caution. Guess what, baby? Lap 76 that just turned over. These guys will not have to pit again. You count and mark my word, 55 laps is all they need on a full tank of gas. And, buddy, they've got it. 76 plus 55 is 131.
Tell you what, I was just watching the 23 there, Batman. When he entered his pit, it looks like he went a little too far forward, had to back the car up a little bit. That's going to cost him some seconds there, but that looks like a good move on all these guys running up top front here. So, tell you, we're getting ready to see a battle. It's getting ready to come down.
one advantage of having last pit stop there, you mentioned that he slid there just a little bit, but he's able to grab and stay in the same exact position that he came down in. Just because of the luck of the draw down there at the end of the pit road, you're so close to the exit that if you have a small little mistake like he just did, you really don't have to make up for it too much. But yeah, he in fact did. John did slide through the pit stop there a little bit, but he's able to maintain position.
All right, fuel strategy game working its way out here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, guys. So we'll see what these two have got for the rest of the field. But tell you what, 76 laps in the book, scheduled for 130 laps. Now, as Mike and Ron are telling us down there, Rick, on pit road, this may be some kind of a fuel strategy game here now. Being played out with a lot of these guys, as we're looking for at least a 2, possibly 3 pit stop race tonight. But it's pretty clear now that Huffman and Gregorio at least will be able to go the distance.
Oh yeah, and I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ron.
That was my bad. I just wanted you to know that if Michael is wrong, I didn't have anything to do with it.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. He did get a brand new calculator from John before the race here tonight. So. Hopefully that's what he's doing, coming up with all these numbers. But we'll see what happens out here, guys, as Huffman and Gregorio been chasing each other down out here pretty much the entire race. Huffman, of course, winning at Bristol last week, qualified 7th here at Atlanta, guys, and has just in short order, Rick, the first 30 laps put that machine of his right up on the front row up here. So. I'll tell you what, still a lot of racing left here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, John Higginger just received the waiver round. Big break for him as he's able to get back on the lead lap. But to make mention of the pit strategy here again, these guys can stretch it out, especially with this caution here. You'll probably hear these cars be cutting on, cutting off, conserving fuel. But 55 laps is the stretch point. And we're sitting at lap 77, 78, something like that. And these guys can stretch it out and go green the rest of the way and make it to the end. So you probably just seen your last pit stops for the front runners. Maybe not the mid-pack, rear-pack guys, but of course, or for sure, your front runners. And Ron, you got more on that?
Michael, I just can't help it, brother. I got to disagree with you. I mean, if you see a caution here in the next 10, I think anything after 10 laps, you're going to see the leaders come back in for more tires. Some of these guys are saying the tires are going to be a lot more important than track position. But then again, a lot of the little guys, I remember talking to John Gregorio and his team before the race, they say no matter what they can do, they're going to get track position and keep it. So it's going to be definitely very interesting to see.
Oh, now, if we see a caution, then, yeah, you'll probably see these guys come back down just for that braking point to get more tires. But I'm talking about on a full green run, they will not have to pit again.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's full on a green flag run, these guys will not have to pit again. And I think the lights may be out on the pace car here, JD and Rick.
Welcome to the Rick and Ron, or Mike and Ron show.
That's right. Hey, these guys are getting broke in just fine, JD. They're doing just fine.
We should probably keep those. Yeah, it looks like they've turned the lights back on the pace car, guys. So lights are back on the pace car. But I'll tell you what, maybe we should separate those two, Jerry. Put one on one end of pit road and the other one on the other end.
He was just trying to help new guy out. That's all he was trying to do.
Me, you, and Law Dog just go down there and eat and let those two take this over, man. They got it going.
That's right. I tell you what, I do want to comment on this tire issue. Now, I just want to throw my opinion in there. I tell you what, it all depends on how this John Gregorio and Landon Huffman run. So far, those two today have been pretty dominant so far. There's got to be a third horse out there that we haven't seen a lot from today that's going to kick in here in a little bit. There's definitely the third guy out there that's going to kick in, that's going to come out of nowhere, and it's going to put pressure on these two. These two are going to run real hard. They're going to burn their tires up. Something's going to happen.
You bet. And I don't think yellow flags are quite over yet historically. here, with these guys. In fact, just about any league we've been broadcasting, there's going to be probably at least one more caution, and it'll come at probably about the 10 or 15 lap to go mark. So if I was a betting man, call my bookie. I think one more caution coming our way out here. But I'll tell you what, looks like the pace car is going to take them around one more time here, guys. Not quite sure what's going on here, but apparently race officials turn lights back on the pace car as they try to get things sorted out down here on a track. Mike, you got more?
Yeah, it appeared that there was just a piece of debris still left over from that last incident between those two guys that had hard lick into the wall there. So they're just trying to make sure the track is clean so these guys can go green the rest of the way.
Yeah, JD, I think Batman got some of that Mountain Dew earlier.
You think? Yeah, I might. Yeah, you guys are doing fine. I'll tell you what, we have more fun on ETV Live here than them other guys and that other station. But I'll tell you what, a lot of things happening here at ETV Live. Check it out tomorrow night, Cowboy. And John been working tonight. John taking a day off, but working in the background back here. He's getting ready for tomorrow night's broadcast. It's going to be Simpro Racing. It's going to be sprint car races. And I tell you what, I got a sneak peek of them last night during a practice session. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, that's some awesome stuff happening over there. So get ready for that at 8 o'clock tomorrow night right here live on ETV Live. And then, of course, what day is this? Monday, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. I think we've got some action happening. Hey, you just got to get over to etv-eplay.net. Check that schedule out. Every night of the week here, there's something going on. Pace car pulling off, and Gregorio's going to take him to the green flag. 75 going to try to stay right on his bumper. But I tell you what, Gregorio's been getting a pretty good start on all these restarts, guys.
Tell you what, Gregorio is definitely the hot shot today on takeoffs. And as you can see, we saw him just here a week or two ago where Landon was beating him on the takeoffs, JD, and I tell you, he done his homework, and he pulled away about 3 car lengths on the start there. So, but again, watch these guys. If Landon puts the pressure on him, it could cause John to burn his tires up, and if John...
Oh, 27... Oh, didn't mean to interrupt there, but the 27 car, Guy Snyder getting clear out of shape, coming down the front stretch, guys. I'm going to roll that one backwards here on my monitor here a little bit. I don't know if he got a piece of the wall or not, but rolling it backwards on my monitor, and it looks like he just got out of shape coming into the triangle, guys, but able to hang on to it.
33 into the wall.
All right, and we've got more happening. Go ahead, go with it.
33 takes a hard lick into the outside wall and takes Logan Bunnan, who's been involved with several accidents tonight, with him. 33 is David Lanza, who's sitting in 25th position. And don't know if Jerry's got that quite up yet, but he took a hard lick to the outside wall there, coming out of 2. Jerry, you got more on the accident?
Yeah, I got the stuff, guys. Looks like he just got way loose up there on the high side of the track. Dumped it up into the outside wall. That brought him down into the side of the 46. Oh, and he almost got our ETV car there of Ed Williams Jr. Look at the 46, going to back right back into him again almost. Tough break, guys. Fortunately, our ETV Live car is good to go.
Yeah, go ahead and call my bookie if you boys want to place any bets about those cautions coming back out again. So feel free anytime. Minimum bet, $100. So
I tell you what, it's always a gamble when you come to a racetrack. That's just the way it is. It doesn't matter what kind of track it is. It's always a gamble.
yeah, it is. Absolutely, it's a gamble, and I keep my bookie on the horn here every race just in case. So, but I'll tell you what, these guys are still putting on a pretty good show out here. 84 laps in the books here. About 40 some odd laps to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. But I'll tell you what, get a load of these guys over here, RealSimRacing.com. And hey, check this out, BobEarlRacing.com. Now this cat, he's a real race car driver, championship race car driver, retired back in 1994. got to check his website out over there. He's got a resume that you can look at over there as well, and some pictures of the cars that he used to drive. But I tell you what, Cowboy, he's got one of the nicest looking racing chassis. We got to get used to that terminology now. It's a virtual racing chassis, the VRC MK2. I guess that would be Mark II racing chassis, and it's fully adjustable. And I mean, it's built by a race car driver. Now, who better than some yokel that walks in off the street into a bar and talks to some other dude with $40 million and draws a picture of something on a paper napkin? All right, this is put out by a real race car driver with fully adjustable seats, fully adjustable frame, the whole 9 yards, Cowboy. All you need is a seat belt and a helmet, and be on your way. But check it out at BobEarlRacing.com. And I'll tell you what, Bob has been kind enough to put one of those seats up, one of those virtual racing chassis up for a season trophy here at Real Sim Racing, Cowboy.
I understand also that you had a chance to talk to him. He's sold over 3,000 of these things so far. And this man is an actual race car driver and knows exactly the way it needs to feel, needs to look, and knows what it's going to take to have a really good time to put you in the virtual world of racing.
Yeah, you got that right. So check it out over there at BobEarlRacing.com. And I see Christian, my little buddy from Costa Rica. He's joined us here tonight over there in the chat room, along with the 26 of Britain from Northport over there. We watched those guys here duking it out with all the boys over at RSN at what was that track we were broadcasting anyway? California, Fontana.
There you go. And I tell you what, just give a shout out to, I believe, Britain. Britain came in and joined us. We appreciate you coming in. And Kayla, I know earlier I said thanks guys for showing up, but ladies, I appreciate you showing up as well. It's always good to see the ladies in here, and you ladies can drive cars just as good as us men can sometimes. So we appreciate you all out there joining in. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mama, tell your daddy, and get them on in here.
Looks like Patrick Hay getting the wave around this time around, guys. So he'll be picking up the lead lap when he comes back around and lines back up. The lights are off on the pace car. So we'll take it around one more time here, and then we'll get back to racing. Or excuse me, that's Keith Brooks getting the wave around. Thanks for the correction there, Mike. But tell you what, lights are off on the pace car. It's been John Gregorio's night all night long, but he's got the likes of that 75 car been chasing him down on the hunt, and for the lead up here. But Landon Huffman sitting fifth in the points, finished first, taking a big one home at Bristol last week, and John Gregorio sitting in sixth position. Now there's only there's 10 points that separate those two guys in the standings, with John Gregorio sitting in sixth place right behind Landon Huffman. So the fight of the night on here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Cowboy.
Tell you what, watch out for Jeff Addison and Eric Arnold and Guy Snyder. Those guys are definitely wanting to get up there to the front. And I tell you what, JD, I'm just hoping we see a lot of these cars running nose to tail here on the drop of this green here. So want to see that 94 Jeff Addison get on up there and put some pressure on these guys.
You bet. 43 laps left here at Atlanta when they come off the start-finish line up here. Green flag is out. John Gregorio takes the lead one more time up here. Landon Huffman hustling right along beside him up here on the top side, going into turn one. Ooh, looks like Gregorio goes in a little bit too high there, but coming around, Gregorio leaders, both of them, both your leaders coming around, guys. John Gregorio, Landon Huffman spinning around, coming out of turn two. Holy cow, this sets up a whole new ball game here at Atlanta Motor Speedway tonight, guys. Landon Huffman and John Gregorio, both of them going around.
I told you guys we was going to see that that third wheel pop up out of somewhere, and I tell you, there's the door of opportunity. These guys are going to be back here in the back, and I tell you, it's going to be tough for them because they're going to be racing to the front the entire race. So by the time they get to where they're getting, those tires are going to be eat up. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, pull this back. They got to see that one live, though. A little tough racing there. Everybody got to see it live. We'll show it again, 23.75, definitely around. I'm not quite sure who got loose first there. It kind of looked like both of them at the same time. Unfortunately for Gregorio, though, 78 laps led. A lot of front end damage, J.D. Weber.
Absolutely. You know what? Taking a second look here, 23 car goes high into the turns, tries to slam the door shut on the 75. He's got the 75 coming right up behind him. But I tell you what, just a little bit too much throttle going into the turn. 75 sees what's going on, tries to get off the throttle in the center of the turn. That's a no-no, Cowboy, because that'll whip the back end right on around. Both of them, both your leaders spinning around. But, Mike, you got some more?
Yeah, I was going to say, Jay, make mention that Landon Huffman did not suffer but minimal damage on that wreck. So that's a big plus for him as he's coming down the pits right now. John ahead of him, Landon tucked in right behind him coming down the pits here. We'll see what kind of damage they do have though here, seeing how long they stay in the pits. But I think Landon's going to be okay. John, he might have a little bit of more damage to repair, but Ron's got more on the pit stops for both teams.
Yeah, they are. Actually, like you said, they slid through down through there pretty hard, so they're definitely going to be taking 4 tires. John Gregorio's damage doesn't look terrible. He's got the grill pushed in a little bit. I think they're going to be able to get it pulled out. Definitely not going to be able to be quite as fast, but he's still got a good hot rod, and I think he'll be a force to reckon with. Mike just said Landon left with, they didn't even work on the car, so they're good to go.
Yeah, even John only sat there for probably another 10, 15 seconds more, if that, than Landon did though. So might see him come back down pit road again, but I don't see why he pulled out so early. But we got more on that, someone?
Oh, I was just going to say that you were talking about maybe a third horse coming into the picture here. Those 2 guys are going to be starting in the back of the pack, and Jeff Addison, Eric Arnold, Guy Snyder, your points leader, running third right now, looking pretty good, guys.
I tell you what, this set up some real racing up here in the front. Remember, you know, when Huffman and Gregorio up there in front, they pretty much walking away from the whole field up here. But you know, Eric Arnold, Jeff Addison, Guy Snyder, Chad Schilling, even on back to Scott Brotherton, guys. We may see some pretty good racing action up here with about 41 laps or 40 laps to go here when we get to restart. But I'll tell you what, Rick, you know, Gregorio and Huffman, both of them going around at the same time, listening to the same music, dancing that same old dance.
I tell you what, and I'm sure there's some banging on the steering wheels going on right now, but hey, that's just the way racing is. But like you say, Eric Arnold up here in the front, Jeff Anderson is going to be on the outside of him, Guy Snyder is going to be looking probably on the inside of Eric on this takeoff. We're going to have some tight racing. Saying that we have seen some awesome racing today so far, but it's about to get real interesting now.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, one we go ahead and step away, take another commercial break. I got to refill my Pepsi Cola here. Take a look at that buffet table back here in the back. So I'll tell you what, you're watching live, ETV Live, Cowboy, at Atlanta Motor Speedway with real sim racing, so don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Refreshing.
Dig. Hard as you can go all the way to the wall, dig. Back to speed. Tires looked awesome too, bud. And then there at the end, you were mowing down those guys pretty quick.
All right, guys, bearing down on your 20, hard and fast.
You've been doing an awesome job. We'll get us one tonight.
Nice car pulled off. Flag, green flag.
All right, tell you what, pace car lights are off, coming off of turn 4 here, going to make that left-hand turn down pit road. And I'll tell you what, VSR Nationwide Series, you catch that live here on ETV Live every Tuesday night. They're off this week, however, as the green flag comes out. Eric Arnold's going to pick his first one up for him tonight. Jeff Addison, Guy Snyder, who's your points leader here at Real Sim Racing, and they're wrecking in behind him already.
Yep, 70 car, running 21st, something like that. Landon Huffman involved.
Oh, Landon Huffman involved in this one. I'm pulling it back on mine, and might have been a huge checkup on the restart up here, guys. Actually, it looks like the 70 car is laying way back here, guys. I'm not sure what happened, but Jerry, you got more?
Yeah, JD, that's the case of the 70 car laying way back there. Unfortunately, the guys behind him had nowhere to go. They thought everyone was taking off because he was laying back. Oh, guys, I mean, the 9 car damaged, 70 car damaged. We got a lot of these guys, got a lot of tore-up race cars here on this restart, so.
Yeah, I see dents on the pace car even. I tell you what, looks like that's going to be Jason Elrod, guys. So I'm not sure if he just had it in the wrong gear or missed a gear or what's going on here, but all of a sudden on the restart, he's backing off and then pulls right up onto the car in front of him, has to jam on the brakes. Of course, that piles everybody into the back of him. So not sure if Jason Elrod missed a shift in that 70 machine on the restart, Rick, or what the deal was.
I tell you, I'm scratching my head, wondering, you know, I don't know if he was picking his nose, looking in the mirror, or what. I don't know what was going on there. He just did not go. And that, I tell you what, you got some big contenders back here in the back that I'm sure they're probably not happy about it either. So I'm scratching my head over here, JD.
You bet, and I understand that Landon Huffman may have been involved in that as well. In fact, I think he's sitting down here off on pit road. Big time damage on that machine, guys, and it looks like he's already being shown down one lap already, so that's pretty much going to end his night. But it looks like he's on his way down pit road here, Ron and Mike.
Yeah, in fact, if I went back and coming out of 4, it looked like Rob Bolin got into the back of him before we even got out of 4 and dented that right rear up. And to make matters worse, Landon Harrison T-bones the 70 car who tried to lay back on the start. So Landon Huffman getting hit in the back and taking the front of that car off. And Ron, you got more?
Actually, guys, I just got to throw this out. I'm not going to say where it came from, but it kind of came across in a scroller there that somebody was just issued the Sarah Palin Award. They called it the Duh Award.
Sarah Palin, duh. All right. Hey, Ron, I heard you on the background back there, bud. You had some more?
Yeah, I was just taking a look down the list here. You got Guy Snyder, your points leader, running 3rd, and Scott Brotherton, who came in 4th of the points, running 7th right now. The other guys in the top 5 had issues tonight. We talked about Cameron Morris earlier, John Higman, we knew his troubles, and Landon Huffman, the last 2 incidents in a row. So it's going to be interesting to see how the points get shaken up right here towards the end of the race.
Yeah, Cameron Menace not even on the track here tonight, guys. He's sitting 2nd in the points. I know there was some upset on his team this week coming from Bristol. Some retaliatory action taking place at the track last week involving members of his team. But Cameron Menace not on the track tonight. But John Higman Jr., he's here at Atlanta here tonight. So is Scott Brotherton. Of course, Landon Huffman. We just watched that action, John Gregorio. But I'll tell you what, some action happening here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for sure tonight. But Eric Arnold's still out here in front. Jeff Addison, Guy Snyder. Now, if anybody up here in the front in the top 5 is going to have a shot, it's probably going to be that Guy Snyder. He can hoof one of these babies around this track pretty good. So Guy Snyder, he just might have been playing chicken back here, watching everything happen out in front of him, getting ready for the last run. But I'll tell you what, 95 laps in the books here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And I'll tell you, some hot action happening here. Maybe that's why they call it Hot Atlanta, do you think?
I tell you what, JD, heck of some racing we saw here today. But I tell you, I see Kayla here. I'm going to try to get her out of trouble. She obviously got up and left her computer. And just so that way you're up to date, the 2 leaders wrecked out in turn 1 on the start earlier, and they ended up in the back of the field.
And when they done a restart, had another accident, so that's what you're seeing right now. So that brings you up to speed and gets you out of trouble. Want to give a shout out over there to David Washington. I understand he won the race in Noble Motorsports tonight, so I'm sure he's a happy camper over there. We're glad you came over and joined us here, and watch how these guys drive.
All right, congratulations to David Washington. But I'll tell you what, lights are out on the pace car, guys. Eric Arnold's going to pick his second green flag up for the night here with Jeff Addison, Guy Snyder, Adam Roberts, Chad Schilling up here in your top five. Scott Brotherton, who sits fourth in the points, he's up here in seventh position behind Jay Horton. But we'll see what he's got for these guys up here tonight. But quite a night here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 96 laps in the books here. And I tell you what, about 30 some odd more to go here at Atlanta. So this thing's starting to wind down. Pace car going to make that hard left-hand turn, come right down pit road. That's going to set it up. And I tell you what, the green flag is up, it's out, and we're running back here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Eric Arnold gets a huge jump over the 27 and the 94, Rick.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I'm questioning Jeff Addison. Jeff Addison did not get up beside Eric Arnold and get a good start on that outside. But tell you what, watch Guy Snyder, because I'm going to tell you, he's going to move to the front. He's going to move to the front quick. Looked like we got a car that got a little slippery back there toward the back. But no cautions came out. But tell you, you're going to see Guy Snyder chase down Eric Arnold here. And we're getting ready to see a race, my friend.
Absolutely. I'm all the way back here in the back of the field in 15th position back here. Doug Roth. Looking forward up here. A lot of racing action happening up in front of him. The 6th, John Higman Jr., who sits in third place with the overall points. I tell you what, he's got a mass of traffic to have to drive through to gain some more positions up here to have a good stance in the overall here at SimPro Racing. But I tell you what, the action happening out here in front as Guy Snyder going after the 47 gets a piece of the wall, so move Guy Snyder to the lead. Eric Arnold gets a piece of the wall, guys, coming down the front stretch, and that's going to move him back into second with Adam Roberts chasing both of those guys down here in third place in that 88 machine.
Tell you what, Eric Arnold's looking on the inside of Guy Snyder. He wants that lead back. And it looks like Guy Snyder actually pushed up in the wall there, and that's where I was telling you about earlier, JD, that these guys are going to get a good run down that backstretch, but if they're not careful, they're going to push real hard going down there in turn 3 and 4. So we may see these guys swapping back and forth before this race is over with.
Yeah, you got it right. I'll tell you what, 30 laps to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and Guy Snyder pushes up in the wall and gives it up to Eric Arnold out here. But I'll tell you what, all that young man's got to do is keep looking out that windshield, keep putting them up, putting them down out here, try to keep that 47 machine out in front of Guy Snyder. But Snyder closing the distance, coming down the front stretch, working that inside line. 47 sees him coming, has to stay up in that upper lane up here. I'll tell you what, side by side, coming off of turn 2, going down the back stretch. 47 working that wheel, trying to keep it off the wall. Going into turn 3 here, side by side. It looks like the 27 of Guy Snyder may get to position, guys.
Tell you what, these guys are not doing anything smart right now, but you know you got to put your shoes in their shoes. They are racing for lead. They're racing for battle. They're racing to win this race. And I tell you what they are doing for sure is they're slowing each other down by racing each other. The rest of the field's going to catch them. They're going to eat their tires up racing with each other. So they just need to calm down just a little bit and just somebody fall in behind the other to some more laps are put up on the board and then make you move.
Back here in 6th position, the 94 car of Jeff Addison. Now he's been chasing down that 18 of Chad Schilling, got the position from him. Chad Schilling and I believe that's, well, no, I just lost the car. But anyway, Chad Schilling, one of the teammates with Landon Huffman, also that 83 machine of Jay Horton up here. So 94 car of Jeff Addison working over the 83 now for position. So that's a pretty good race going on there too, guys.
That's right. I tell you what, a couple cars back, I'm looking at the number 88 there. Looks like he's trying to make some leadway up there on Eric Arnold and close in on that. And he's got a pack of cars running in behind him. But I tell you what, man, look at these guys. I mean, they're running side by side. Atlanta is not. It's a wonderful track to race at, but it's not easy to race side by side at Atlanta, especially.
Yeah, especially coming down the front stretch, I think is what Rick was going to say there as he gets his technical issues worked out there. But you're absolutely right, side by side, coming down that front stretch at almost 200 miles an hour, Cowboy. I tell you what, you hang on to that saddle horn because you're going to be going for that e-ticket ride up here. But Scott Brotherton, 10th position back here. He had a gaggle of cars out in front of him, too wide for the most part for quite a few laps. But he's got John Higman Jr. in that 60 machine up there in 9th position. So Scott Brotherton hoping for better than a top 10 finish here as the laps start closing down. 106 laps in the books here at Atlanta. Things are getting loose up here in front of him. John Gregorio, who was in that mishap back on lap 88 with the 75 car, Landon Huffman, move him up into the top 10. Currently running in 8th place as he gets past the 41 car of Chalmers Parker. So the 23 John Gregorio trying to get that damaged machine of his back up to the front, guys.
Yeah, John's definitely got his car back on the rail that he started with. He had some minor repairs done, got it fixed, back up there running 7th. And I tell you, these guys running 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, they are racing for every point, it seems like. Good racing coming out of 3 onto the front stretch by some of these guys.
About 20 laps left here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I think Law Dog. I seen him just jump up out of his seat and run back to that buffet table. I guess the boy was hungry. Do you think?
I tell you what, I'm trying to get everything fired up here again. Having a little bit of a storm over here this way, and tell you what, I'm on my way back.
Oh, Chad Cole going around, guys. Big wreck back here, about 6th position back here. Chad Cole gets in it with the 94 machine. Looks like they're coming into turn 3 here at the end of the backstretch. 94 cars up in the up wide, coming off of turn 4. Comes down right on top of the 17 and 23 car right in behind him, guys. Big wreck right down here on the front stretch, Jerry.
Absolutely. Tell you what, 17 going under the 94 into the corner here, trying to get a position on him. It looks like maybe the 94 and the 17 get together, both go around. 23, once again, nowhere to go. A lot of damage in front of his race car. Guys, we're trying to get to the end of this, and it looks like the 44 got a lot of damage out of that too, Weber.
Wow, I'll tell you what, John Gregorio just cannot buy enough luck here at Atlanta Speedway tonight. Hey, it might have been better off spending some time in a casino instead of the racetrack, Jerry.
Yeah, but I'll tell you who's smiling from year to year right now with 20 laps left in this. Good old Guy Snyder, your points leader, top of the board, baby.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's working out in his favor for sure. But I'll tell you what, I'm still looking at this thing back here with the 23 car. I mean, just, he just can't buy enough luck here in Atlanta for that 23 machine. John Gregorio starting out on the pole here tonight has led most of the laps up here, duking it out with Landon Huffman. Those two get collected with each other back on lap 88. And, of course, Guy Snyder, your points leader in the overall, he just probably, I'm sure he's listening to his spotter talking about all the stuff taking place behind him and just kind of chuckling to himself. But I'll tell you what, as this thing starts to wind down, boys, Guy Snyder's, he's sitting in the hot seat for sure. All right, as Law Dog's still trying to work his way back up the stairs here a little bit, but this is going to be caution number 5, I believe, coming out here tonight at Atlanta, guys.
Yeah, JD, I'm interested to see if these leaders take advantage of this caution. I've got an eye on Guy Snyder right now leading the race as he does not dip down. Eric does not dip down. Looks like John Gregorio's going in. And you might have some mid-pack to backpack guys taking advantage of the caution. But your leader's going to stay out and chance the tires that they're dealt with right now.
Yeah, my bad. It's going to be 6 cautions tonight, guys. I guess the course, we don't have any budget for batteries, and my calculator went dead about halfway through, so I appreciate the little little post-it note there, Jerry.
Calculator? Seriously? You're still using a calculator? I got a smartphone.
Smart. What do you call somebody down there and ask them how many?
No.
How many?
No, it's got a calculator on it.
Oh my God. Hey, the phone I got's got them dial things on it. You know, where you got to put your finger in the hole and spin it around.
Oh yeah, that's called a rotary, AD. Those are back from like the 30s, dude. Keep
Mike,
talking. You're showing your age, Papa.
Mike, hey, you know what? Everybody asks me when I was born. I keep telling them I was just born 100 years too late. Just be settled with that. But Mike's going to try to get here. Mike, what do you got for us, bud?
I'll tell you what, Chris, take a look at Chris Beck. During the qualifying, actually, one of the gears went out. They had to put a new gearbox in that car. He qualified with a 56 lap time. Back on the track, sitting in 14th position. Not a scratch nor a dent is on that Air Force car. He's got all four corners of that car just as rounded as possible. And be looking for him to make any more improvements here. He's having a good night tonight for Chris Beck, and I believe Ron's got more.
Yeah, I'm standing down here in the 23 pitted. John Gregorio just took off. They weren't 100% sure if they were even going to be able to get him back out. They're going to roll him on, and he's going to come back. I think he's going to come back in, and they're going to work on it just a little bit more.
Yeah, tough break, John, there, and multiple cars caught up in that last caution. Pit road been real busy this late part of the race. If you're just joining us, the first half of this race and moreover so has been clean, except for one caution back on lap 3. But other than that, we had green flag pit stops. Was talking around lap 77, talking about pitting then and going green, and from then we've just had caution after caution. I think we've had 6 or 5 more cautions since then. So JD, I think they're coming into 3 with the lights off the pace car. Take it away.
You bet. Tell you what, made my bet with the boys down there on pit road, called my bookie, told him, yeah, there'll be some more cautions coming out, and I guess I'm going home with a pot of gold from that one. But tell you what, Jerry, you got something more?
I'm going to tell you what, bud. Here's a post-it note for you. If you didn't like the last one, the boss told you to quit goofing around and get back to work, Weber.
Hey, who do you think the boss is here? Is Guy Snyder gets a huge jump over Eric Arnold and Adam Roberts down here on the restart. So Guy Snyder looking to bring this one home along with the trophy here. And Rick finally made it back up here in the booth. As 47 gets wicked loose coming off of turn 2, takes a piece of the wall. The 88 and the looks like the 83 is going to get past him down here on the bottom, guys.
Well, I tell you what, I heard Batman talking about how rounded those corners on that car was, but I tell you, I believe you jinxed him there, Batman, because now he's got a big old dent going down the side of that car.
Tell you what, Eric Arnold back here fighting a loose car, went way up into the wall, took a piece of it with him up there, and a bunch of them got past him. But he's fighting it back, trying to get those positions back to 60 on the bottom of the 88, coming through turn 4 here. And I'll tell you what, side by side act up here in front, but you know, you move it out to the front. Guy Snyder has all but checked out on the rest of them, guys. Almost a half a second over at Jay Horton there, Ron.
Yeah, you're talking John Higman Jr. right there. He was involved in that very first accident back on lap 3, coming here third in points, and right now he's going to be sitting 4th right behind Scott Brotherton, who's also in the top 5. Like I said, it was going to be interesting to see how these points deals are going to play out with 15 to go.
You bet. James South for the ride tonight with Kayla, and everybody's over there. Ron Day, who's that dude? But tell you what, again, you get all kinds of people logging into that chat room over there, and sometimes I think just to fill it up, we get the employees to log in there and just make it like, kind of look like it's full. But I tell you what, Guy Snyder hanging on to the lead out here in that 27 machine over Jay Horton. Horton in that 23 car for Huffman Racing Team, trying to hook it up out here. But let's talk about Landon Huffman. Tell you what, him and John Gregorio pretty much playing tag up here all night long. Huffman involved in a couple of cautions here, Of course, he's now being shown 4 laps down, so not quite the night that he had hoped for here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Oh, we got
guys.
a car. Got 47 coming around. He slid into the wall, took a couple cars out on the back stretch there, JD. Looks like he come around out of turn 2 and smacked the wall there. I don't know if Jerry's got a little more on this yet or not. Jerry?
Oh, absolutely. The ambulances are on their way to the racetrack. Take a peek at this one. 46 gets into the outside wall. 43 gets into him as well. 46 back up across the track. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom, he takes a hard shot in the air. And here comes the rescue crew, guys.
Whoa! I'm just looking at this on my e-play, my e-wine machine up here. And I'll tell you what, you talk about an e-ticket flipping ride. Holy cow, cowboy. I'll tell you what, hang on to that saddle horn because you're going to need it when you climb off of that pony. The 47 machine, Eric Arnold, I'll tell you what, he could have been a threat. Doing a good job hanging around up here in the top 5 pretty much for the last 15 to 20 laps, guys. But, wow, what a ride.
I tell you what, he went for a ride. I'm just sitting here, my head's kind of aching a little bit, my body's aching a little bit, and I tell you, I wasn't even in that race. But Michael, you got any more on this, Batman?
Yeah, I tell you what, Eric, after flipping their car come to a stop, there's no motion coming out of that car. So guys, we'll keep you posted, but there's no motion in the car right now for Eric Arnold.
So, yeah, I'm supposed to. I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to laugh. Well, we hope that he's gonna be okay.
You guys are cold.
Just wanted to give you guys an update. We had a bunch of guys come down pit road right there. The 23, the 85, the 65, and that ETV hot rod. The 17 of Chad Cole, who had a strong run going, and the 76 of Keith Brooks, I think, was involved in that, JD. So good guy. Those guys should be good to go to the end with those repairs.
Tell you what, I just got words a few minutes ago. I believe what you were seeing there at the 47 car of Eric Arnold, I believe he was actually had his phone in his hand and he was tweeting. But I tell you what, guys, we've got the 27 of Guy Snyder up here, and I tell you, Jay Horton, Scott Brotherton, and John Higman Jr., earlier we saw them. Those three had a good race going on earlier in the race, and here's all three of them again. So I don't know if these three guys are actually working better, working together to try to put Guy Snyder in a position that they can actually, one of them, take the lead over.
Just wanted to give you an update on the 94 also, who had a strong run going after that incident he had. They've decided they're going to go ahead and pull the number 94 machine behind the wall and load it up and take it home, and I can be able to get it back on the track. But he had a good run going. And also wanted to mention the number 60 again. I just can't believe the comeback that he's made. Like we said, where he had that damage right there at the beginning of the race, and now he's back up here in the top 5, and he may have a shot at this thing before it's over with. I definitely would not put it past him.
That's right. And I tell you what, you know, tell you, how are we looking on pits there, Batman? Anybody, any perspectives on going in the pit? I mean, we're only about 10 laps out. Hopefully, I assume that all of them going to stay out at this point in time.
Yeah, you're not going to see the leaders come in. They've got what they brought here. They are on some old tires, though. Keep that in mind. They are on old tires. A lot of these guys have not pitted in quite a while. You got more on that, Ron?
Yeah, just looking back at it, I think it's been about 30 laps. I was trying to borrow JD's calculator, but like you said, the batteries went out on it. So I think it's
Here's my smartphone.
The number 27, the number 27 car is, I believe, on right around 30 lap tires, and most of the top 5 is right there with him. So gonna be fun.
I will tell you this though, John Higman Jr. Pitted that last caution.
That's right.
And so he's probably on some fresher tires, and that's why you see that Cheetos machine moving up towards the front here.
Okay, well, that's definitely be interesting. Since he's probably the one with fresher tires, we're probably going to be looking to see him try to move toward the front and get around
Scott Brotherton and Jay Horton pretty quick here to make a move.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I don't know if Jerry's got Guy Snyder in this 27 car or Scott Brotherton in the 3 car in third, but these guys on the bottom of the apron, what they're doing there is, I'm going to let Ron explain it a little bit further, but Ron, exactly what are some of these guys doing as you see them real low on the apron, even in the turns, real low?
Well, what they're doing is got the fuel pickups. They're on the right side of the car and the right side of the gas tank if you're sitting in the car on the passenger side there. So when they're up on the banking like that, the fuel is going to be running away from that fuel pickup. So if they're getting low on the fuel right here with 10 to go, which seems a little bit close, but if they're thinking they're low on fuel, they're going to drive down there on the flat part so that the engine keeps getting fuel, so they don't stall out or have to restart it or anything.
Good deal. And I believe we heard JD, you walking back up the steps now again, or you back with us here?
I tell you what, I was standing outside on the balcony leaning over the handrail up there when I think one of them haulers just kind of bumped into the tower here, and I kind of tripped and fell down the stairs a little bit. But I tell you what, I'm back in the saddle again here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And I tell you what, these boys putting on a heck of a show here tonight. Of course, caution's coming out here late in the race. No big deal, Cowboy. It happens all the time. It even happens on Sunday afternoons when you're watching the real boys doing it. But so lights are out on the pace car this time around. So tell you what, it's less than 10 to go here, I believe, at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Tell you what, I'm ready to see one heck of a darn race in the last 10 laps here, and I tell you, I think that's exactly what we're going to see. But you know, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, I still don't think we've saw the last caution for the day. We got a lot of guys out here that's got the point system is so close right now. You're going to be seeing these guys not fighting to win the race, but fighting for those points and the ending position of where they end up here today, because points mean everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Points do mean everything. I'll tell you what, you go down through the points and you look at these guys from about third position on back. Higman, Brotherton, Huffman, these guys are all about 1 point apart from each other as we get the green flag back racing out here. Guy Snyder gets a huge jump over Horton. He's pretty good on these restarts. He's about as good as Huffman was at Bristol last week, guys. So I'll tell you what, Scott Brotherton up here in the number 3 car, second place, chasing down Guy Snyder with 7 laps to go here.
1 and 2.
And sounds like John Gregorio in that 10 car, guys. John Gregorio, the pole sitter, involved in a huge wreck back here, guys. Roll it back here a little bit and see what happened. Looks like he got loose coming off the turn, guys. And no caution. So tell you what, 23 car back up on the track, trying to get that thing motoring forward. But in the meantime, back out front, Guy Snyder's got about a half a second lead over Scott Brotherton.
That's right. And I tell you what, number 3, Scott Brotherton, he's coming. I've been watching him the last few laps, and he was able to get past Jay Horton. And but I tell you what, that Guy Snyder's got something underneath that hood there, and I believe Scott's going to have his work cut out to catch him. But he's catching him 1 lap at a time. Let's just hope he don't run out of laps.
83 car squeezing that 60 machine of John Hemming down here, coming off of turn 2 here, going down the backstretch into turn 3 here. John Higman Jr., he sits third in the points here at Real Sim Racing, trying to hunt down the leaders up here. And I tell you what, he is closing the distance here. Last time around, 29.260, and to Guy Snyder's 29.1. So I tell you what, he's got that thing hooked up, trying to move that thing forward just a couple more notches. Don't know if he's going to have enough time or not with 4 to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
That's right. Still 4 to go, and I see a few guys coming out of turn 1 off the exit of turn 2, still bouncing off that wall back there in the back. I tell you, I'm sure Guy Snyder does not want to see a caution come out anytime soon. He's got some breathing room, maybe about 10 car lengths, 4/10 of a second lead there so far.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you what, Law Dog, disagree. I believe Guy Snyder wants to see a caution come out right about now.
Well, I guess you're all right. If a caution comes out now, we're going to finish under a caution. So that definitely would clinch a win for him today. So you're right.
It's one of them, would be one of, what do they call that? Tony Stewart one of those Tony Stewart wins or whatever, luck of the draw. But tell you what, 2 to go here. In fact, we're on the second lap here, so it is absolutely too late. If it ends under caution, if the caution comes out, it's over, Cowboy. And Guy Snyder's going to go home with the big one. But I tell you what, he is absolutely opening up the distance between him and Brotherton. Brotherton having a little bit of handling issues coming off the turn. But tell you what, Guy Snyder's got it hooked up, and he's probably going to win this thing. Last time, go ahead.
Looking back here at Jay Higman, seeing if Jay Higman is going to close in on Scott Brotherton. And tell you right now, what I'm seeing, JD, is everybody's just kind of holding ground right now. And I don't see anybody making any moves. Don't see anybody gaining on anybody, but don't see anybody leaving anybody. So looks if everything goes green from here on out, I believe you're looking at how this is going to finish.
Absolutely. What a white flag lap coming around, and Guy Snyder, he's just got to make it around this thing one more time here, and it's a done deal. Guy Snyder out in front by about a half a second over Scott Brotherton as they come off the final turn back here, turns 1 and 2, going down the backstretch. One more turn through 3 and 4 here, and Guy Snyder, all he's got to do is get that thing across the start-finish line. It's going to be his night, going home with the big one here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Scott Brotherton putting up a terrific fight here in the closing laps. Of course, John Higman Jr. Actually gaining a couple positions on that last time around. But I tell you what, it's game over. Guy Snyder going home with the big one from Atlanta Motor Speedway, boys.
That's right, and you got Higman that came in second, and in third, the number 60 of John Higman Jr.
Wow, I tell you what, you know what, Atlanta Motor Speedway, it's a very fast track, mile-and-a-half track, and I love the racing action out here on these mile-and-a-half tracks, guys. And I'd just soon sit here and watch these as I would those big plate tracks or those, you know, like the Michigans and Californians. But what a terrific race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. But tell you what, Guy Snyder out there on the start-finish line. We'll watch him for a few seconds here. Burn off what's left of them tires out here after a terrific run here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Guy Snyder, your points leader in the overall points as well. So I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and step away. We'll take a commercial break here for a little bit, get ready for the post-race show here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, so don't wander off. We'll be right back. All right, and welcome back live here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I tell you what, getting set for the post-race show here as we gather them all up. But I'll tell you what, as we do that, 130 laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I lost count. Of course, I had some technical issues with myself. My as Jerry says, I don't have one of those smartphones. My calculator ran out of battery, so I don't have any idea how many cautions we had. But you know what? All in all, outstanding race here tonight, and saw some good racing action. But standing down here in victory circle with the driver of that number 27 machine, Guy Snyder. And I'll tell you what, Guy, what a race out there. And you did a fantastic job wheeling it around there and collecting the big one tonight.
Oh, I'm glad you think so, man. I wasn't the fastest. I mean, there was a lot of guys that were quicker than me, but I just kind of figured out early in the season that if you're around at the end, man, you know, anything's possible.
Well, you qualified in 13th, and, you know, if one didn't know, it looked like you're just kind of biding your time back there, watching everything happen out in front of you. You know, 130 laps around Atlanta, I mean, that's a significant amount. So you know, it pays to kind of keep your eyes open on what's going on out there. But I tell you what, through the series of a couple of cautions, managed to put that thing out in front. And talk about your restarts. I mean, you're getting some fantastic restarts out there from the green flag.
Yeah, I was behind the 47 there, and I was just thinking, man, if I could be in the lead, how much I could, gain benefit from having the restarts. And I don't know, there's a lot of guys that can keep up with me, but I think I just kind of varied it pretty well, and there was no pattern to no method to my madness, and it really helped me get to front or get out front.
Outstanding. Well, again, congratulations on the win here tonight. Any shout outs out there you want to give?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys say anything, but my dark horse was David Lands, and he got taken out earlier in the race, and he jumped up on the tower and was spotting for me, calling out lap times, and I really appreciated that. It really calmed my nerves there at the end. Got to give a shout out to Chad Cole. He's another one of my friends. He had a pretty bad night, I think, tonight. But and I got to thank Snyder Fuels. That's my new paint scheme. I had an ode to Paul Menard in my first 3 races, and now I kind of went with the family business. So glad to put that car in victory lane on the first night.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again. And I'm going to throw it on down pit road. I believe Law Dog Rick Donathan standing by with Scott Brotherton.
That's right. I'm here with Scott that finished second, came in the race, qualified 17th. Scott, you got to be happy with at least a second place finish.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy. Guys wanted to beat every week, and just to have a shot at him there at the end was good. He got a really good restart on me, and I guess with about 2 to go, I overdrove 1 and 2 a couple times and just burnt the right front up. I don't think I was going to get to him, but it was good for points for sure.
Good deal. And I tell you what, if you had a few more laps, did you have enough under the hood there to catch him?
I don't know. I mean, I think I probably could have. I was just driving too hard at the end. I wasn't letting it roll through 1 and 2 the way I should have. Just overdriving, and I was allowing Higman to catch back up to me. So with 1 to go, I didn't think I was going to catch him. So I just made sure I brought home second.
Okay. Well, good deal. I tell you what, you had a good race here today, and anybody out there you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, definitely Huffman Racing. I think we had 3 in the top 5 there. So that was a good showing. Landon, I think Landon had a bad night. He was up front there running for the win. And Bob Earl Racing for the chassis put up for the championship. Got to mention that.
That's right. And I'll tell you what, you guys got to be excited about that. Actually coming from our true race car driver, I'm sure you guys are definitely going to be battling out this season for that thing.
Yeah, for sure. And points are important. And like I said, a lot of times in these races, if you're just there at the end, you're going to get a good finish. So sometimes it's just survival.
Well, Scott, I'm looking at points now, and it looks like you're 4th in the points, and you're finishing second today. Only you're 8 points behind, so that definitely may move you up a little bit there in the points. So.
Yeah, that's good. And heading on to Martinsville next week, that's just going to be kind of like Bristol, just try to get through the finish.
Good deal. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pass the mic up to Batman that's got it with our 3rd place finisher, John Higman.
Yeah, so you got John Higman. John, take us back to lap 3, 127 laps ago, when you got caught up in that accident. What went through your head first off during the accident, and coming down pit road? Take us through there. What were you thinking?
It's hard to put into words exactly what I was thinking. I knew I just barely got into the inside wall a little bit with the nose of my car, and I was really hoping that it really wasn't that bad, and it turned out it wasn't bad at all. I had like maybe 5 seconds repairs. They just put a little tape on the front. It was good to go.
I tell you what, sitting 13th on the restart on lap 97, making your way up to 3rd position. John, what was that like getting through that traffic? We were talking during the broadcast about how jammed up it was and about how fast everybody was towards the end there. Take us through getting all the way from 13th to 10th on that, or to 3rd on that restart.
That was definitely exciting. I knew there were some faster cars behind me, and there were some guys in front of me that I really wasn't too sure about. So I just kind of took it easy, passed the guys I could when I got to them, and if a faster guy got to me, I'd let him go. And me and John Gagoro there, which is my my new teammate, along with Cody Parker and Jeff Eden. I was just going to try to follow through him through up there, and some people got together in front of him and got involved in a wreck. And getting through that kind of helped some. I was sorry to see John get in a wreck and all those other guys, but it seemed to help out a little. And I just basically did my same strategy, just passed cars when I got to them, and just tried to take it easy on tires.
Yeah, I tell you what, looking at the point standings, solid third place finish today here at Atlanta. You're sitting third in the points, and with Scott finishing second there and him sitting fourth in the points, it might be a little interesting. You guys might be tied, or you may even drop a position. So we'll have to see how things shake up with that. But other than the point standings, other than a solid finish in third, you got anybody you'd like to thank, John?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Eden Construction. They're the primary sponsor on my car. Thank Jeff for everything he does, help me out with everything. And I'd also like to thank Parker Motorsports. It's my new team I just joined up with this week, actually. Our debut start was a third place, so pretty good.
Tell you what, John Higman Jr., third place finish today at Atlanta. Ron Day standing by with John, no other than John Gregorio.
Yeah, guys, I got John Gregorio here, driver of the number 23 JDR Graphics Chevrolet. John, your night started off awesome. Started off on the pole and led the first half of the race. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we had an awesome car tonight. I was led in the first half of that race with Landon there, and me and him seemed pretty good equal-wise on the lap times, and we had the field gapped pretty well. So it felt like I was going to have a good night there, and then I made a mistake, and I made a mistake last week, and I made that mistake a couple weeks ago, and it put me in the back, and every time I do that, I seem to get caught up in someone else's wreck. So kind of disappointed with myself for doing that.
Right after you and Landon Huffman, of course, had their mix-up off of 2 over there. But, yeah, it just was as good a run as you had tonight. We couldn't leave without getting a word with you. So we got it right here, JD. John Gregorio not having the night he wanted, but we'll see him next week.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, you know, when I'm looking back here, I think it was lap 88, and I didn't hear any chamber music going on, but it was quite the pirouette that the 23 and the 75 car were making down there coming off of turn 2. But tough night for some, better night for others. And I'll tell you what, you want to do this again next Monday night. Race, real sim racing will be at Martinsville next Monday at 9:30 p.m. So catch the action then. Of course, tomorrow night, ETV Live, Knoxville 360 National, some dirt track racing, Cowboys, some sprint car stuff happening from Sim Pro Racing. Catch that action at 8 o'clock tomorrow on ETV Live. And on Wednesday night, RSN versus Nuff World at Calder Park, Australia. So pack your bags, boys. We're going halfway around the world to watch this one. And, of course, Thursday Night Thunder with Jesse, the Outlaw James, AJ Browning, John, the Bad Boy Westling. He'll be along for the ride as well. And I'll tell you what, a lot of action happening here at ETV Live. Check the schedule out, etv-eplay.net. So I'll tell you what, from Atlanta Motor Speedway, this has been the Real Sim Racing race here tonight with Rick Law Dog Donathan, Mike the Batman Keaton down on pit road with Ron Day. They call me the Cowboy, JD Webb. So we'll see you tomorrow night right here on ETV Live.
Oh,